amazing.
Cheers, everyone.
So let's
Cheers.
Let's have a moment.
We're having a moment. We're having a moment. Both our sons have left for uni.
Yeah.
Estelle's gone all the way to the US and she's so chill. And mine's only gone like, how many 100 miles up the motorway?
200.
200, and I'm like bereft.
Not so chill.
And I really thought I'd be chill. It's very odd.
It
not.
is.
I thought Bitter and I were thinking he's leaving party, man. We're just gonna. There's very little washing to do now, which is lovely, isn't it? Laundry, no laundry.
Yeah, no laundry, but it's sad.
Cheers, guys.
It's sad with
Cheers.
the teenagers.
Cheers.
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 So,
hello, people joining.
yeah,
Why aren't you having your supper?
amazing.
We didn't
People
expect you
joining.
to join. Hello, everyone. Hi. So, I should at least say hello. I am so privileged and happy and delighted to have Estelle Bingham here. Estelle, you will know from Love Purpose Connection. Many people, if you've had the privilege to physically see her, will know far more than that. But that is her brilliant podcast where she really delves deep into what it is to feel love, purpose and connection. And we're just having a little chat on the sofa because I adore her. And my heart's desire is that you get something from it and that you feel you're here with us. So welcome. So what took you on that journey? So you were on TV, right?
I was on TV.
You were a presenter.
I was a presenter on TV.
Yeah. Was it children's TV?
I started with children's,
Right.
and
Cheers,
then cheers. I love this.
Yes, why not? Look, what we say in
love
Ayurveda,
rosé.
I love rosé. It's more sugar though, isn't it? So if you don't want to have too much sugar, you should have dry.
Yeah.
But next time.
It's
the thing
good.
is, what we say in Ayurveda, wholeheartedly believe, is that everything in moderation, 80-20 rule for everything.
Yeah.
You know, be naughty and don't feel guilty about anything. If you drink this and you feel bad, what was the point of drinking it? Enjoy it. Have fun. And then tomorrow, step off the pedal a little bit and then back on, and that's it. You know that. Yeah. So you were on television.
Yes. So I just want to say hi to everyone. It's so wonderful to see you all. This is such a random. This is totally Anita doing her thing.
Yeah.
And
Random.
that's what I.
Yeah.
And when I met Anita, that's what I just absolutely loved about her, is her spontaneity, her sense of adventure, incredible positivity, and so I just want to throw that right back at you.
And yours.
And you know, it's literally like we live really close to each other,
Yeah.
but and Anita does a lot of walking in the park, but I've missed her. I haven't actually, managed to cross paths, and I think that we missed each other. And I think one of the things, the great things to think about in terms of life, and there's always the right time, and what is coming for you never misses you.
I agree with you there.
And it's sort of that.
I agree.
And also what life can bring you, because it always brings. It can. You can literally be at sliding doors, and your destiny's doing one thing, and then it brings us many things. But also the joy of new
and connection.
friendship.
But if I had met you probably 7 years ago, I probably wasn't on your wavelength to meet you. There's a reason, isn't there?
I think you'd always be on the wavelength.
Well, but you know what I mean?
I do know what you
mean. I
Our
think
journeys.
Our journeys. I think I had quite destructive friendships at one time.
Yeah.
That's what I was calling, and now I'm not calling them. And then Estelle turns up, and life is good. And I remember once I met this friend, actually, who's one of my dearest friends. I met her sitting in Carluccio's, 17, her daughter must be 16 years ago. Met her in Carluccio's, and I remember saying to God that day, God, I must be doing something right. I must be moving in the right direction to have attracted her in my life, because she was such a beautiful soul, and I hadn't been surrounded by beautiful souls because I wasn't calling them in. I was destructive. And she came, and I thought something shifted now. And it actually did shift from that moment on, and it continues to shift.
Yeah. Our old friendships, because this is a lot of the work that I do, our friendships, we a lot of the time we're actually quite lonely.
Yes.
And we can be surrounded by a lot of people, like old school friends, or and actually there are times when we have to go through the metamorphosis of evolving, and those friendships we grow out of them. But it's painful too. It's a painful process.
It is.
And what real companionship means and what true connection means, which is what Love Purpose Connection. That's the podcast.
Yes.
And that is really informed by my work.
Yeah.
And I was in TV. I was a presenter and I was a journalist, and I was always, I was always psychic, but I really didn't want to be psychic. I was telling someone about it today. I didn't want to have to be at the dinner party,
right?
Reading someone's future or defending, what I was feeling or. Yeah.
When did it come, Estelle? When did you recognise that you were?
For me, it came really early on,
right?
And because my mum's psychic, so it's kind of in our household.
Okay.
But often, so many of you out there are natural empaths, and also we all have gifts. Yeah. And really, when we think about sort of psychism, what is it being psychic? Actually, it's just about being in connection. It's about
your intuition.
Yeah, it's about allowing spirit to speak to you, and it's about having an open heart and all of those feelings that we have. Yeah. We go into a room and it's like, oh, I don't quite like this, or don't feel comfortable somewhere, or you can meet someone and just don't connect.
Yeah.
We just it's about trusting that voice, and that's the innate wisdom, and that innate wisdom connected to, again, it doesn't matter what your belief system is, but connected to a divinity or the universe, and trusting that the universe is a sort of the source of love, really.
You can't connect to others and your higher self or your intuition until you're connected to yourself, right?
Absolutely.
That's the issue, isn't it? So few of us, we're disconnected from ourselves. Why have we become so disconnected? And how do we get back?
Yeah. We become disconnected, obviously, because everything tells us to disconnect. And culturally, we live, in a society that we have to survive often. Yeah. And so our family systems and growing into, we come into the lifetime. This soul vibration comes into the lifetime with all of its information, whether you believe in past lives or not. But
I do. It gives me lots of comfort to believe in past lives.
Yeah. So the past life, we come in with all of that amazing, all of those lives that we've lived, but we come in with amnesia, so that the family system then, informs the life up until we're ready to start growing and waking up. And then the family system has actually just teaches us something about our karma. So it doesn't get to master us, we get to master it. And we kind of return to this, all of that old DNA, our cosmic DNA, it's what I call our cosmic DNA, that's in there, waiting for you, me, and everyone else to just be present to. Yeah. So
you help people do that.
I help people do that.
Wow. And many women, so many men and women. And you just did a retreat with men, right?
I just did a retreat with women. I did my female, my women's love retreat.
But you're doing a men's one.
I'm doing a men's one because we have to bring the men, the divine masculine, good men. Yeah. And they really need it. They need to be, their light needs to be facilitated. And because we're not going anywhere, we have to have
and
the
it's
balance.
really hard for men at the moment because they don't know their place.
No.
It's really difficult for them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be a man at this point, where if you're too masculine, then it's not right. And if you're... what is their role now? Because we're pretty much doing everything, aren't we?
Yeah, I think it's just...
They do have a role, but it must be hard for them, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's very... It's always been difficult for men. Men have always had to subscribe to these ideas of what it means to be masculine.
Action Man. Do you remember Action Man?
Action Man from back in the day.
He was hot. I liked Action Man. I liked his hair.
He had quite rough hair.
He had quite rough hair.
Odd, rough, and a square
head.
And a square head.
But he was quite appealing.
And he wore his green little,
That's right. That's right.
So...
and he didn't have a penis.
He definitely didn't have a penis. No, he was just very plastic.
Yeah.
But I just think it's this idea of the masculine and what it really means to be a protector, or to be how we can become all versions of ourselves. And obviously all of us hold a sacred feminine and sacred masculine vibration, whether you're male or female, and of course there's a lot of different there's a lot of different things happening in our world. So in terms of all, you know, in terms of like what gender is, and but also just these ideas of self.
I love that we're living in an age where people are not bound by that. Whereas, I mean, we didn't explore that. It was just you're a girl and therefore you behave like this. But it's not like that anymore, and it's wonderful. But there will be a pain point through this, right there.
Yeah.
And you help people with that, which is really, really, what a gift to be able to do that. Is that gift painful sometimes? Are you able to distance yourself from all of everything you're picking up?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. I think if we didn't feel pain for each other, there would be something.
Yeah.
But what doesn't happen is I don't absorb it.
Good.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But I don't sponge that energy.
Good.
You know, into my system, which is what a lot of empaths. You know, a lot of empaths do that. You'll find that you just sponge energy. You know.
Yes.
So the secret is to be able to have that consciousness where you're allowing yourself to be empathetic, because it's what it means to live in a connected world, but to not have to absorb everything.
Yes.
Because then we get drained. You know, then we lose ourselves. We can really lose ourselves.
Yes.
And our sense of self, and we can abandon ourselves. So I always say an empath without the boundaries.
Yes.
Without the line in the sand. You know, you've got to go. Never leave home without that line in the sand. And the line in the sand just means that I hold you safe and I hold myself safe too.
Yes. And people know, I suppose when you have boundaries, people also know where they stand with you.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have boundaries, one day you'll be really friendly and give everything, and next day you'll be cold and not give anything. People think, hello.
Yeah.
Then it's uncomfortable for them as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least if I know this person is like this, I know where I stand.
Yeah.
So you left TV. Was it a moment, a light bulb moment, or was it a gradual thing?
I was living in LA and I'd gone out there for TV, and I had my son out there.
Gosh.
And
I had a hot flush just now, by the way. I'm having it now. It's really
Are
horrible.
you?
Yeah. It starts on my moustache area. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Is it?
I'm
is it
literally
sweet?
having one. No, it's really horrible.
Mid-flush?
I'm in mid-flush.
You look great.
Oh my God.
Just a bit dewy.
It's really horrible. It's not nice being a woman of this age, is it?
We have to work with that.
I have to work with it.
We just
okay,
have to
go
work
in a
with
minute. Okay, it's better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were in LA.
And so people started turning up on my, you know, really just started turning up on the doorstep. So I decided,
just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
What?
I think that your destiny, you know, you can. I always say you can run, but you can't hide. I think your destiny just it finds you. And so I surrendered. I think surrender is a big part of also just, you know, surrendering to what is, to what you know, to what, and that's something that I feel like you do, Anita.
I do. Yeah, I do. And more now. And accepting that we change, and it's okay to change, and however the business might look and however much it might be growing, if I don't feel like doing it tomorrow, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to find a way to make it work for me, not me work for it, you know? And I think you've got to do that. You've got to be true to yourself. Yeah. You've got to change. You've got to move.
Yeah.
I'm still really hot. This is really weird. Do you know I was on TV as well for a while?
I'm not surprised.
Did you know we had that in common?
No.
But mine was not very highbrow. I shouldn't say that in case they're listening.
Well, what were you doing? This is great.
I was on TV with Llewellyn, what's his name?
Bowen?
Yeah.
The interior decorator?
Yeah, it was a daytime show.
I love it.
Where you went to people's houses.
Yeah.
There were 3 of you, and you were given a budget which you picked out of a hat, 200, 500 or £1,000. You had 10 minutes to look around their house, and then you had 2 hours to go shopping and find them the perfect gift.
Wow.
And the winner was the one that the family came back and chose the gift, and they didn't know what the cost was. So they might want to try and go for the expensive one, but ultimately they'd go for what they like. And what I liked about it is it was unscripted. I couldn't do a script one. I think my memory couldn't do it, and I would find it a lot of pressure. Like yours was scripted, right?
Scripted, some of it was scripted and some of it not.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think I could do that. I just would find it really difficult.
Yeah.
But this was quite fun because you just did what you wanted to do. You did a bit of shopping and you talked about your finds, and then you went home in a nice car, and that was the end of it.
Wow.
It was quite fun, actually.
But I don't know if the people watching, how they know how beautiful you have got the most beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
you do pick the most beautiful. Your aesthetic is incredible.
Oh.
It's very balanced, and it's very.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really.
You mean
healing.
here?
Here.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, but I think that's also
This
in your
room,
products.
this home feels it. You know when you walk into a home.
Coming into this home is amazing.
But even when we first walked in, where it was downstairs was a flat, I think, there was still this energy that said, this can be a good home.
Yeah.
And you do pick that up, right?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
That's an energy.
That's an energy.
That's feeling into the energy, isn't it? Yeah.
But it didn't, anyway, that programme, when I was taken on to do it, they were in their last series and ITV didn't pick it up. I think they'd had 3-4 runs. And then I auditioned for another show, which was my own show on Sky.
Wow,
yeah.
This is exciting.
And I did what do you call it when you do one pilot or something? Not pilot, like a show reel or something. And they loved it. And then Millie was diagnosed terminally ill. And the next time I went on screen, I didn't look the same. It was like something had gone. I didn't look the same. And I thought, I can never do that again. But then now with Instagram, we all do it in our own way somehow, don't we? We all communicate to people.
We do.
Somehow.
We do.
And but it's nice to have had these different experiences.
I think these different lives.
Yeah,
I think
great.
I think it's why we're here.
Exactly.
On the planet. It's like, well, we're here, like, just, find the joy.
And you're doing an equinox event this weekend, right? Are there
I'm
still
doing
tickets? A full moon?
I'm doing a full moon event.
Are there still tickets this time?
There are still tickets.
Great.
Unlock the healer within.
Brilliant.
There are still tickets. That's exciting.
What, you've got some lineup, haven't you? Well, there's you, which to have a one-to-one with you would be the same as a day there, so it's very good value as well.
It's good value, and it's we've got Roxy Nafusi.
It's amazing.
Who wrote Manifest.
Yes. Did you work with her?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Lisa Donovan, who she created the Pattern app.
Yeah, which is brilliant.
Which is that amazing astrology app.
If you don't know it, go and log on.
You should check that out. It's wild. It's spookily accurate, the Pattern app.
It really is. Even to my cynical son who said, yeah, you could say that for anyone. No, you couldn't. It's very, very accurate. Incredible. And she had a successful career
She'd had a successful career prior to the Pattern. And she didn't know anything about astrology, but she just literally, she was having a dark night of the soul.
What?
And then she created, out of that came the Pattern. So she's just incredibly inspiring when it comes to creativity.
And what will her and Roxy be doing there?
So we're talking, it's basically, it's full moon in Aries.
Yeah.
So it's a really powerful time to, as we get to the last part of this year, how is this year going to end?
Okay.
And on what seeds are we planting for next year? I mean, we're in some crazy times, and it really feels like that. You're not alone if you're feeling really overwhelmed, actually, because everywhere vulnerable, and there's the changes in the Queen and the King Charles, and then
the war,
and also
so
just
many things,
and
we've only just got over COVID.
So Unlock the Healer Within is about real sort of centering, grounding. It's an activation. It's very powerful in community, sacred space, really sort of an uplifting, like a frequency hack, really.
Wow. And you'll be talking as well.
I'm going to be talking. I talk to Roxy. They do little different pieces, and then you journal, and there's also really
so it's
amazing.
interactive.
It's interactive.
And Denise Lester will be doing a sound bath as well.
She's going to be doing a sound bath.
Yeah, she's from Ela, guys. If you might know Ela, that lovely, but kind of a bit like us, but older than us, more established than us, and lovely brand. Yeah, so she's doing a sound bath.
She's doing a sound bath too,
Lovely, wow.
So it will be wonderful. Crystals and
lunch is included as well.
Lunch and cacao.
Wow.
Are included. There's a sort of a beautiful cacao ceremony. It's a really nourishing day. It's like just to bring yourself back in. It's wobbly. It's been wobbly. The last full moon was quite wobbly. The last 3 to 4 weeks have been wobbly. People have been having relationship issues, and just all sorts of things are emerging at the moment. And yeah, I was really just guided to put that date in the diary. And it's a big day, you know, because it's in quite a big, beautiful space. But whether you come on your own or, you know, you
bring a friend, take a friend. Yeah, it'd be fun to do it with a friend. Your sister, your friend, your child. Like, just do it, because you have to gift yourself that. You have to put yourself first, and you'll make everybody else happy if you do that. So just gift yourself that day. It's going to be... I sense that it's going to be quite a day of a real shift. I sense that. You've got to do it. Got to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll also give your audience. I was going to say, we'll give them a code.
Oh, amazing! Yeah. We'll put it in the notes below. If we don't do it today, it's because Annabelle would have gone home and probably be doing yoga nidra now. But in the morning, she will put it in the notes below. And so please go and enjoy it. And I've really, really, really enjoyed talking to you, and I could talk to you for a very long time. But we are also going to eat something now.
We are. I'm so excited.
And thank you so much for joining us, and lots of love to you all.
Lots of love. Lots of love.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Stop.